Hello and welcome everyone. Today I want to summarize the upcoming 3.25 changes that we've seen so far and point out the implications for minion builds. The first thing I want to talk about are the changes made to skills with Reservation, which includes auras, heralds, stances, and abilities like Tempest Shield to name a few. Until now we had to reactivate them after death, which felt like a chore because most minion builds are using those abilities extensively, especially at the high end. Well, it was made easier in 3.24 to activate auras by opening the skill bar and right-clicking them. In 3.25, they will automatically reactivate after death, saving you even more time in the process. This wasn't the only thing shown in the first teaser though. Judging by the numbers on determination from the video, the flat added armor the aura provides has been halved. These nerfs to determination might also extend to grace, but that remains to be seen. Some people have argued this comes alongside nerfs to the monster modifier Overwhelm physical damage reduction, which has always been strangely powerful. Most hardcore builds opt for Taste of Hatred in combination with other sources of physical damage taken as, like Cloak of Flame or Lightning Coil, to deal with physical damage because of sad modifiers. And while I do hope we see changes to Overwhelm physical damage reduction modifiers on monsters, it remains speculative for now. The aforementioned changes to determination and potentially grace are somewhat offset by the introduction of new tiers of armor and a rework to item quality. So far we've only seen a new energy shield based body armor, but it's reasonable to assume other item slots and types of defenses get a similar treatment. Quality now no longer counts as increased damage or defenses, but instead acts as a more damage or defenses multiplier. This significantly increases damage on lots of weapons and defenses on most types of armor, but makes items with increased global defenses like grasping mails and the unique body armors from Chayula weaker in comparison. The more damage modifiers on weapons are straight up buffs for minion builds like Chains of Command with Void Forge, Physical Armor, and Animate Weapon of Self-Reflection, providing around 5 to 10% more damage to these builds. This also increases the damage granted by Rallying Cry in combination with powerful weapons like the Winds of Fate, making it more viable for low and medium budget builds. The amount of quality provided by currency has also been changed and now solely depends on the item level and ranges from 20% for low level items to 1% for high level items. Chisels now apply 20% quality to white maps, 10% to yellow maps, and 5% to all non-unique red tier maps. Speaking of maps, one of my favorite league mechanics, Blight, is going to be more relevant in 3.25 due to the introduction of prismatic oils, which are exclusive to Blight and Blight-ravaged maps. They will be used to anoint notables that otherwise cannot be allocated, like Crusader and Tenacity. The pool of exclusive notables has also been increased significantly, although it remains to be seen whether one of these can compete with powerhouses like Charisma, Inveterate, or Whispers of Doom. In Settlers of Kalguur, the Act 2 quest Deal with the Bandits has been reworked and now only grants one passive point. The other one now comes from the Through Sacred Ground quest, which isn't too far off since you have to do the Labyrinth trial anyway, at least with your first character. The buffs provided by helping one of the bandits will subsequently be nerfed as well. Oak now grants plus 40 to maximum life, Elira grants 15% to all elemental resistances, and Creatine grants 8% increased movement speed. This means most players will now probably choose either one of the defensive buffs or choose the movement speed from Creatine to speed up the campaign, in addition to one passive skill point. This choice can later be reverted by the Book of Reform via a vendor recipe once the passive skill point becomes more desirable than the buff. There are other major changes like the introduction of a large health bar when fighting Pinnacle and Act bosses, a 6th map slot, as well as the elimination of the first 15 waves of Simulacrum. These are endgame improvements which don't affect minions specifically, but are definitely worth mentioning. I put the forum link to the teasers, including some minor changes I didn't talk about, into the description of this video. And that's a wrap. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments. I try to get to them as soon as I can. I'm going to stream the 3.25 leak announcement on Twitch with the usual minion-centered commentary. You can find my socials, including Twitch, Discord, and Patreon on my channel page on the description of this video. I hope you liked it. Until next time.